time to get to the place that you wanted me to be. Oh, now I'm ready. I'm ready to love. Hey guys, it's Bree comes to you with the B face. Ready to love. Review season 6, episode 12. This is Decision Day. I just watched it, y'all. Nothing surprising happened. I feel like I'm reeling from the previews, so we gonna get to those. So, what happened in this episode is that Tommy kind of releases them to go do this thing on their own now. They are fledglings leaving the nest. I don't care nothing about what y'all do until the reunion, basically. But first, the women need to introduce the men to their families, like what the men did in the last episode. So Carmen has Donovan meet her parents, which I was surprised that her dad was around and so protective, because I thought in the last episode she said that it was just her and her mom, but maybe because she did say in this episode that her dad was military, so maybe it was her and her mom and her dad was just present, but like not present because of the military, and that makes sense. But Carmen's dad came in with the smoke like he was already over it, and the mom was just like, praise the Lord. Which was hilarious to me. Like, they're so different. Like, not the dad is vulgar, but just how he came in with the question. So it was her dad who was asking about the cheating. Now, props to Donovan for being honest about the reason that his last marriage ended. It was because he, there was infidelity on his part, okay. But that explanation stumped him. He was stumbling all over the place on that one. Like, the dad was saying, how do I know that you won't cheat on Carmen? How do we know that? And Donovan said, well, if we're in a relationship, that's my promise to her. Props to the dad, because the dad came right back and was like, yeah, you were married, so I'm sure that was your promise to your ex-wife and you still did it. So again, I'm asking, how do I know that you're not gonna cheat on Carmen? I was like, listen, if I ever bring a man home to meet my parents, like, y'all better come with that type of smoke if it's that like situation. I mean, that was a really good question. I feel like everyone else was kind of throwing softballs, and dad was like, no, this is my child, and we're gonna have a discussion. Y'all let me in here, so we're gonna talk about it. So I appreciated that. The family, the parents seem to like him, but in those types of situations, it's not like you're spending a day with him. You're doing lunch, so how much of an impression can you really get, in such a very limited space? And also you're on TV, and I just feel like for you to get a genuine read on a person that your daughter is dating, it would need to happen in a different environment. So all these people saying, oh, I like them, yeah, duh, you're on TV. And they're always going to put their best foot forward, and you're not the one dating them. So you're not the one seeing all the nuances and all the small things. So it's like, I get meeting family, and it's important, especially if family is important to you, that your significant other, the person that you're dating, gets along with them. But I also think in a way that their opinion, being in a space where their opinion is very, very relevant, like, I don't know. That's just not where I am. But that was Carmen and Donovan. Joy and Clifton. So Joy brought her sister. They look exactly alike, which is uncanny. But the sister came in and was like, wow, you're attractive. I'm like, same girl, same. He is fine. That man is fine. Oh my gosh. But yeah, they really just talked about the distance thing. I think that was the main thing that was an issue for them, and that comes up a little bit later in the episode. So then Dakia brings her mom and her brother to meet Paul, and so they're chatting. I had no idea that Paul had kids, and they are grown kids. They are older than I am. And I did not expect that. I need to see how old Paul is. Is he like 48? Because he does not look super duper old. Like, I can see him being in his 40s, but to have 27-year-old children, whew, yeah. And the brother was like, you got a primary care physician? Like, you all right? Like, you good? Yeah, he's up there in age. 27. Your kids are 27. Oh my goodness. And then the mom was asking, does Paul want kids? And he was like looking at Dakia, and she's like, you can say no. She probably was like, yeah, I already know this, and this is why we're not together. Like, you can go ahead and be honest about it. We doing this for TV. But yeah, it seems like Paul does not want any more kids. I wouldn't even if I had 27-year-old children. What I look like with a newborn? 27? Oh my goodness. He needs to be asked about them grandbabies. Same as the mom. Like, no, I don't want to have a child right now. I also want the grandkids. Like, we're on the same page. So that was Dakia and Paul's date. And, you know, I think Dakia kind of already picks up on the fact that they're really not doing it for real. And Paul said in his confessional, like, it's really difficult to try and make a romantic connection in this short amount of time. And like, while I like her, it's just not 100% there yet. And that's understandable. Sidebar, there was a song that came on right before Joy and Clifton's date, and it was like, stay right here. And I was like, oh, was that the girl from last season with the stay right, stay right, stay right? Like, did they make that into a song? Because you know she's a singer. So I was like, oh, I need to find this soundtrack because it might be the girl from last season. And if it is, props to you, girl. So Joy and Clifton, they have just an individual date, and they're just, again, talking about the distance. Joy cries about this, and she tells Clifton, like, you know, you have my heart. And Clifton is also telling her, you know, same, and I'm gonna have a hard time when I have to drop you off at the airport and say goodbye. And they're just trying to, I guess, reconcile with that, like with what they're feeling, but with the reality of their situation. They're about to have the sex. They definitely made that clear. So that was Joy and Clifton's interaction. And then we get to the decisions, because it's decision day. So the final couples are Don and Carmen. And so they choose each other, and Don is like, let's go on a trip. So he pulls out some open trip. Like, we going on vacation. He was like, I'm gonna hold on to these until you tell me you choose me too. But Carmen, of course, says yes. And so they're like, yeah, we're gonna walk off into the sunset or whatever. I feel like Clifton should have done that. Pull out a plane ticket to Mexico. Like, I'm gonna go with you, and we'll just figure it out. I think he has young children, though. I feel like he has younger kids. I don't know if that would work in his situation. Paul and Dakia meet up, and Paul starts talking first, and he chooses himself. And honestly, I was watching this whole episode. I was like, yeah, I feel like they're gonna get to the end, and Dakia is gonna be like, I choose myself. But Paul said it first, and that was unexpected. I thought he might have just said it just cause, or maybe he would have misunderstood what was happening, but you know what, now that I'm thinking about it, he did ask on that family date, he asked, does she stay in things longer than she should? Like, does she stay in relationships longer than she should? That might have been telling, because he's like, if I pop out of this, or if I opt out of this relationship, is she gonna try and hold on to something that we both know is not really anything, So that should have been probably my clue. But yeah, Paul chooses himself, and Dakia's like, same. Yeah, but Paul said, I'm choosing myself so that there's space for us to like explore if this is something. And Dakia's like, I'm choosing myself because just because we have a lot in common doesn't mean that we need to be together. So I saw that coming. That's not a surprise. And then, of course, Clifton chooses Joy, and he just, is giving his speech about how he chooses her and all of that stuff and how they found love. Now, I have been on Clifton's side this entire season. I really like Clifton. Finest one to me. But I didn't like the part where he was like, so he was talking about their journey and like truth or dare. We kind of let everybody know, like, I've had tunnel vision this whole time. Truth or dare is when it kind of came out. But then he said, and at the retreat, some people still didn't understand the love that we have for each other. And I didn't like that at all, because Takia, how is that her fault? I mean, y'all were still dating, and up until that point at the retreat, you kept on saying, oh, we're gonna spend time together and do this. At the retreat, I can't wait to do this with you. So it's not, that would have been on you, sir. Like, you should have taken the initiative to say, this is where I am, but you were playing the game. And so you had multiple connections that you were still feeling out to the point that it didn't disrespect whatever you had with Joy, because you knew that was where you wanted to be. But don't make it seem like people just out here not getting it. And she removed herself. She just said she wished you'd have told her. I didn't like that part at all. And it's really not that I'm just super gung-ho for Takia, because, I don't know the girl. But I just feel like she has been the least problematic person on this cast, and I don't understand why you would have had to say that about her. I just don't think that was necessary. Same thing with Eric talking about her to Carmen. Like, you don't have to do that. There's really no reason to. Like, you're just out here gossiping. Calm down. Or if you don't have anything positive to say, communicate what you're feeling and don't date her. I don't understand that part. So that was the only thing I did not like about that interaction. Like, you really didn't have to bring that up. It wasn't necessary. I feel like it was in poor taste. So then the previews come on for the reunion. Yo, I feel like I really want to do like a live watch of this reunion, because I feel like, one, I love the reunion shows because it's always some mess. But the previews showed a lot of things, and I think it's a 2-part reunion. So it looks like Donovan and Carmen are still together, but that might be challenged a little bit because Sabrina comes in with some tea that apparently he said if he had gone, or if he had come on the show earlier, he would have been with someone else on the cast. Wonder who? I am curious. Maybe it would be Joy. And Carmen didn't seem like she appreciated that. Don still has smoke with Sabrina. He came in like, I'm not feeling this. And Tori was sitting next to him. He didn't say anything in the previews, but his facial expressions were just like, yeah. So, of course, there's a whole bunch of drama with Laverne. Precious and him are going at it. Tommy asked Precious if she told Ace that Laverne was gonna get eliminated, and Precious is calling Laverne a liar and all of these things. Ace is just sitting there. But she's not sitting on the couch with Laverne, so I don't think that's a thing. Joy comes for Sabrina's neck. Ooh, I'm interested to see that, because Joy has been very neutral this entire time and seems to get along with everybody. But that, she did in one of the episodes, one of the previous episodes, she did at one of their deliberations say, I don't think Tori has gotten over the truth or dare thing where you popped out with Demetrius instead of him, because it seemed like y'all were together. And so Joy says at the reunion, like, you were smitten, and then all of a sudden it changed. And Sabrina's like, that's not true. And Joy's like, can I get a sentence out? So there's that. I'm surprised Eric showed up at the reunion. So they're going to talk about this incident. I want to know what actually happened, because seems like some conflicting things. And it seems like some of the guys have some beef with Laverne. Paul has beef with somebody, some man, because he says this guy is saying. I don't remember what insult he used, but it had the A word in there somewhere. I don't know. It was something like that. But I'm excited for this reunion. So there are only, 2 couples that ended the season together. I'm interested to see what the other cast members are up to, because I know they do lives and they do interviews, which I haven't watched. I tried to watch one with Precious, but they weren't really talking about anything. I was hoping she would say something about what Laverne said about her, but I don't know if that interview happened before or after, so I really didn't listen to that one. I'm interested to see if maybe some people got together off camera, like if there are any other dramatic happenings that happened off camera like there were last season. Oh, there were so many. There were so many. If anyone on the cast has found love outside of the cast, I'm interested to see. I'm curious if Clifton and Joy are still together. They seem pretty chummy, so I'm hoping they're still together. Donovan and Carmen look like they're still together because they were hugged up on the couch and she said that, I'm mad now, like that one. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited to see though. I feel like everybody else is single. But I am interested to see what this reunion is like. I can't wait, y'all. So, and that one will be on time. I won't be out of town that weekend. I really want to do a live review on that one. So we will see how that goes. But thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you watching thus far. And check me out next week because we gonna get into it. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.